Hey, what's going on, guys? So, summer is finally here for many of us. College is let out, and most seniors for high school have finished at this point. And now's the time when all these high school seniors get ready to go to college. And that can be extremely nerve-wracking. While exciting, it is kind of scary too, whether it be for the kids or for their parents. I was going through the same thing last year. My parents were kind of nervous, but I was quite excited. And one of my friends found this book for me, College Safety 101 by Kathleen Baty. It's a Miss Independence guide to empowerment, confidence, and staying safe. So it is directed more towards young women, and it's got information from dorm life to dating, study abroad, road trips, going Greek, spring break, parties, self-defense, and more. A very large chunk of this book is dedicated to self-defense, from stalking to what sexual assault. There's information in here about where you don't go on campus alone, traveling in numbers, things that you're told about, but it's definitely a good thing to be reminded about just in case you forget. The author of this book goes by Safety Chick, and she has a little bit of information as to who she is. When you read it, you're going to find out that the author isn't just someone who's using facts and figures to inform young women about what they can do to stay safe, but she was actually a victim of stalking and potential assault. Police were involved, there was weapons involved, so this isn't a book that is detached and just giving you the cold hard facts. There is information and there are opinions in this book, and it's written from someone who really does understand firsthand what it's like to have something like this happen to them and wants to help people in any way possible. So that's another great thing about this book that I find. Each chapter of this book has a key theme, and chapter 1 is intuition, the key to personal safety. I find this one of the most important chapters of the book, because the first part she covers is trusting yourself. And as just finishing my first year in university, I find this to be one of the biggest things you need to know. Even if your friends are going to do something, you don't have to follow. If something feels wrong to you, trust what you know and trust what you feel and go along with that. And I do like that she drives that home, and that's a big part that she covers, understanding that what you know probably is right and don't go with what people want. And I'm very happy that in this book, that's the first thing she covers, as a lot of books don't really cover the whole, what you believe, what you should be doing. It's more like, be aware of your surroundings, but she has a whole chapter dedicating to what you believe, what you feel, butterflies in your stomach. If something feels wrong, say no, and go home. She even has a whole section of the book about dark corners of campuses. Most people aren't told about this when they move to campus, but there are dangerous spots on campus. There's areas that are dark. And, living on campus after, experiencing this, there's parts where, security doesn't necessarily check all the time. And so she covers this, why you should not go to the dark corners of campus. And if you have to, what you do to make sure that nothing happens. Because if you go to these places willingly, you are potentially putting yourself in a lot of danger. And so if you have to put yourself in a place where it could potentially be dangerous, she tells you what you can do to make sure you get out of there as quick as possible and without anything happening to you. With all the recent shootings going on, she even has a section about what to do in the event of an active shooter. And, universities do cover this information when you move in, but just reading it, again, drives the point home of what you need to do. As in a situation like this, you're not going to have time to really think. You just have to know and do. And so just having another source of something telling you what to do is quite smart. Finally, she ends the book with resources, whether this be to sexual assault helplines, to websites for things that you can use to protect yourself, to even home security, as she does have an entire chapter based on living alone as a woman, if you decide to move off campus. This ending it has multiple pages of websites and people you can call, just in case, you don't know exactly where to look. So this is a great place to start, and I highly recommend using these links, as she's gone through them all and believes that these are some of the best places to check. In conclusion, I believe that this is a fantastic book. It's really well set out. It's, easy to read. It really does open your eyes to things that could happen and reminds you of things that you don't really think about. You were told them when you were young, but it's nice to have a little reminder. I'm really glad my friend got this for me, and I did have a look through it before I did go to university. But, looking at it now, especially after living away for a year, I really do recommend this, as the whole parts about, dark areas on campus. I didn't think about that moving into university until, I'd tell my parents things and they'd be like, oh, you need to be careful. And seeing this covered, clearly it reminds me that it is dangerous. And as a young woman, finding a book that's dedicated just for women and what women can do is kind of hard to find. Something that's as well set out as this and written by someone who's experienced something that could have ultimately killed her. So that lends a whole new meaning to what this author is doing. So I find that the author's not doing this for money. It's not a book to get a paycheck. It's to really help people, and that's one thing I really, really like about this book. So I highly recommend it. It's College Safety 101 by Kathleen Baty. Information will be in the description. And leave a comment if you really like this book, if you've read it before, if you know what you think about these type of books. And I have another video coming out soon for men and women for college as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!